What is going on, buddies? RC here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome along to episode number 12 of the F1 22 Road to GOAT Driver Career Mode series for the Italian Grand Prix here at the famous Monza circuit for what should be a very exciting race. If you did miss the last episode, make sure to go check one out before you see this one. There'll be a card on the top right hand corner of your screen now. We'll jump right onto the grid. There's the stats in the bottom left for Carlos Sainz after his last 3 rounds, sitting just behind Lewis Hamilton in the Drivers' Championship as the race for the title hots up into the last 5 races of the season. And there is the gap, 5 points between the pair of them. Leclerc back there in 3rd. So we're looking to close that gap today as best we can. We start back in P11, a brilliant qualifying for us. It wasn't actually P15, but grid penalties for some drivers further back pushed us up the order. So we're going to try and take advantage of that as best we can. In terms of strategy for the race, we're looking at a simple one stop from the mediums onto the hards. We're going to pit on lap 11, so we're going to go a lap earlier than everyone else. See if that gives us any advantage. We're going to turn the fuel down as usual. Last time we had a bit of problem with the fuel, and that's what caused us to lose out on that one single point from last time. But we're going to try and go one better and score some points today, get ourselves on the board so we can continue to chase the 2 teams below us in the Constructors' Championship, try and get Williams up the order a little bit. So here we go now, 5 red lights for the Italian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, foot to the floor, go, go, go. Decent getaway compared to Hamilton on our right-hand side, but he's going to get the jump on us off the line. Towards turn number 1 we go. There goes Schumacher to our outside. The Aston Martin's behind us, looking to counter as well. In towards that first corner, Hamilton's going to stay in the middle. We're going to try and duck to the inside as we go 3 abreast to Bottas and Ocon through turns 1 and 2. Decent exit. Bottas stays behind us, but Ocon might just be able to slide in front. Got a warning for a collision with him, so which is fair enough. He goes around our outside. He's going to kill the Grande for the first time. We're trying to get him back going into the Della Rosa chicane if we can try and get him close enough on the brakes going towards the corner. We're dropping back there. We go a lot later to try and keep close to him. And we've hit him. We've hit the back of the Frenchman's Alpine, and that's not going to help us in any case at all. Bottas there behind us could counter the exit. We've a bit too far back. But that front wing damage doesn't impact us too much on this open lap. We're going to try and drive with it, and we're going to try and stay out the pit lane as best we can in order to avoid repairing that damage. Pushing on to midway through the second lap of this Grand Prix now. Ocon's got away a bit, and Bottas is about 7 tenths or so behind us. We're not in much trouble. We've got yellow flags in front of us already. That's some of the leaders. Not quite sure who that is. One of the Ferraris is slowing here. Is that Leclerc or Sainz? It'll be crucial. And it's Sainz. And that's Carlos Sainz who came into this one 5 points back from Hamilton in the championship. And Hamilton's got grip penalties today, starting near the back of the grid. And all of a sudden, Sainz's opportunity to try and go close some points and take the lead for himself is going up in smoke like that Ferrari as he makes his way out of the 2 Lesmos. And there is the puff of smoke that tells you all you need to know. The Spaniard retiring from the race, putting the car over to the right-hand side of the racetrack. And that'll be the end of his Grand Prix, still lap and a half in. So unfortunately, it's given us another place though, up into P9 as DRS gets deployed for the first in this Grand Prix. There's Ocon and Alonso going at it towards turn 1 just in front, so I think they'll join that battle for the moment. We'll have to get a bit close to them if we can, so no luck there for the time being. Gasly's just there in front on the soft tyre, so assuming it shouldn't be too long before he comes into the pit lane. There's Stroll just behind us on the exit of turn number 2. He's going to look at us on the outside. He's got a very good run going towards Curve and Grande. He's going to get the place off of us. Let's make our way towards Della Rosa once again. We might try and make a move on and try and get it back, but I think that this one might just have us. And coming out the 2 Lesmos, once again the DRS redeployed for us, or deployed for the first time in this Grand Prix rather. Making our way towards the Ascari chicane. Stroll's got the DRS as well, but we're using our energy back to the best of our ability here. We'll try and make a move if we can. Look to the outside, but Stroll locks up, and we unfortunately hit the back of his Aston Martin. We have nowhere to really go there. It wasn't enough room for us to try to the outside, but we went for it. We may have done a bit more damage to that part of the front wing, but I think we managed to get away with just about. Stroll will have another go at him here to make our way towards this Ascari chicane once again. The next lap number 4, pushing for P9 here to make our way into the corner. There we go. Through the chicane and getting in front of the Canadian. And our next target being Pierre Gasly, with a particularly poor exit off the chicane, and Stroll might try and take advantage of that now. He's going to look to the outside as we charge towards Parabolica for the 4th time in this Grand Prix. Stroll goes sailing all around the outside, and now be P9 for him for the moment. We're going to try and get him back down the main straight if we can. I can see Ocon and Alonso still battling there in front. Looks like Alonso's got the better of the French on this occasion. Gasly will look to counter as well. We've got to pull alongside, almost alongside Stroll on the exit. We're about half a car off him, and the DRS deployed for us now. He's going to have it as well down this main straight, and the Aston Martin's got a bit more straight line speed, and straight line speed is crucial here at Monza. We'll try and get Stroll on the brakes if we can. Go look to the outside, but he covers us off very nicely indeed there. So Stroll will hold on to P9 for the time being. We're going to try and once again on lap number 6 now of this race. Around the outside, going towards the Ascari once again. Gasly's had no luck with Ocon. He's going to look to the inside of him and try and cross over back to the outside. In the meantime, we're going to outbrake Stroll going into the corner, and we're right behind these two as they make our way out of the chicane. But again, another poor run there. We've gone a bit wide on the exit, but Stroll's fallen back a bit. He's lost momentum, so we're going to hold on to P9 for the time being. Pushing towards the end of lap number 6 now. Gasly's going to pull over to the right, make his way into the pit lane. Those soft tyres have done their job. So I think we're looking at a 2-stop today for him. We'll have to see if it pays off for him later on in the race. We're chasing Ocon now. He's pushing lap number 8, but Stroll still unrelenting right there behind us, not willing to give in as he make our way through Coa Grande once again. He's closing us. He's got the toe that he needs. He might try and look to the outside, so cover him off. He's going to look to the outside of us going into De La Rocha, and on the brakes once again. It's tight between us side by side into the corner. We've managed to get him through the chicane. We had the better line going in, and on the exit we managed to get away from him as well. So we continue chasing Ocon for the time being as we go back through Ascari once again. A bit of a poor run there, very late on the brakes and a bit too late for our liking as we've gone over the curb there. Stroll could try and see fit, and where's Lewis Hamilton? He's come charging from the back of the pack and now making his way forward in towards the points paying places. He's going to pass us on the right hand side. So we've lost 2 places there in the space of one straight, and that's what one poor exit out of Ascari can do to us, is to go through Parabolica behind Stroll and Hamilton here to make our way to the last couple of corners and down onto the main straight once again. We get Stroll, we're going to try and get Lewis as well. Here we go, side by side with the 7-time world champion. Stroll goes to the outside. It's 3 abreast between us as we head for turn 1 onto lap number 9 of this Grand Prix. Hamilton has the edge. It's just Stroll and us just behind him. We'll look to the inside of him if we can. We've hit Hamilton, who locks up and almost goes straight on. We're going to take advantage to go right around the outside. We've almost gone the grass there, so a bit more contact, and it's not doing our front wing much good at all. We're managing to get away with it. I don't know how we could get away with it in that case, but we're still in front of Hamilton and Stroll, who might have another go at us here, going towards De La Rocha. We're going side by side with each other. Will Hamilton or Stroll get the run they need? There goes Stroll around the outside, but it's not going to be enough going into the corner. We outbrake him and hold on to the place, so P8 is in our possession for the time being. Push on to lap number 10 now, this Grand Prix. Our pit window opening. Stroll is pulled off into Stroll has fallen back, and Hamilton's now seeing fit to have a go at us, and Daniel Ricciardo not too far behind as well. He's in the last points paying spot. There goes Hamilton to the inside, and I have half a mind to not battle him here. He's definitely going to pull in front of us within the pit stops, but it's not often you get to race a 7-time world champion, so we're going to try and go for it here using our battery, which could be a mistake. We might have to save it for later on. Going through Coa Grande, Hamilton has to run us going towards the corner. We're going to try and get him into the De La Rocha chicane. Ricciardo is closing a 1-second gap within a couple of corners there. He's right behind us, and I almost considered going late on the brakes. There's contact. We've hit the back of Hamilton's car, and we've given no space to Ricciardo as we throw the hand up in frustration. Ricciardo almost losing the car, but saving it on the exit, so good recovery from the Australian here. So we make our way towards the Ascari. Another yellow flag in front of us, and this time it's one of the Red Bulls. Unsure as to who it be, Verstappen or Perez. I think it is Perez, because Verstappen is safe in the lead, being chased by Charles Leclerc. So now just one Red Bull and one Ferrari left in the running, and it is Perez, I can confirm that, who's out of the race. So 2 front runners, 2 of the drivers in the big 3 teams retiring from the Grand Prix, but crucially for us, that brings us up another place. So it may be an internal failure on the Red Bull car once again. I haven't seen many of those this season. I haven't seen a retirement in quite a while for those cars. I think the last one we probably saw was round 2 when Verstappen retired in Saudi Arabia, but Perez, no smoke coming from the back of that car, at least from not from what I could see on the TV cam, but Perez, that car definitely a lot slower than it likes to be, and there is the smoke that again tells you what you need to know, and that is that Sergio Perez is out of the race, pulling the car over to the right hand side of the track and presumably putting it onto the grass as the rest of the pack goes charging by. There we go, just past them, going towards Parabolica. So Perez out of the race, unfortunately. A long streak of finishes brought to an end for him. He's going to make our way now towards the pit lane for what should be our first and only stop of this race onto a set of hard tyres. So there we go now into the pit lane, hitting the pit limiter once again. Good run into the pit lane. We've been lucky enough not to be caught out by any penalties so far, so I'm getting good at this pit limiter thing. On the way in, we're going to try and get the turn in, nail it as we usually do. It'll be an optimal turn in, so we're looking at, once again, any stop between 2.2 and 2.5. It'll be a 2.4 second stop, same as it was in Zandvoort. Pit crew not doing us too many favours here, so we're onto those hard tyres now. So I have to do the best we can to try and get out in front of those who are chasing us. Galvin's on the medium tail. I can see him running in P17, so I do assume that's make one more stop before this Grand Prix is out. So I'll have to see if he comes into the picture later on for us. Pushing to start lap number 13 now. We are catching those cars who are stopping at the usual time, and Magnussen and Ricciardo both coming out in front of us here, so that could be crucial. They've gained places off us, and I suppose pitting one lap earlier hasn't really helped us, so that this pit strategy blunder, we have to try and avenge it as best we can, and we're going to start by chasing Magnussen down out of Ascari towards the end of the lap and charging towards Parabolica. We're going to look to the outside of him. We're going to get a very good run, pull side by side, wheel to wheel with the Dane here, and going towards the corner. It's all a case of who's last on the stoppers, and going around the outside to meet us. With contact between the pair of us, we squeezed Magnussen just a little bit there, so K-Mag in a bit of trouble. We have to go around the outside and go sailing on and taking P13, and Joe coming into the pit lane as well. He's in the pits with several cars. Magnussen's back to our outside. They're gaining a couple places here and up into P11. So this battle with Magnussen is now for the last point on the road. So into turn 1 we go. I'm going to look to the inside of Magnussen, going into the corner. I'm going to get the run around the outside. We've squeezed me a bit there. We've gone to the grass as our reward. So unfortunately, we may have done a bit damage to the tyres, but we're getting in front of Magnussen. That's what matters at this stage of the race. On to lap 14, Magnussen, again about half a second back from us as it stands. We've got a particularly poor exit out of the chain. Might see Fitz go for a run on us to the inside, going towards the first last mode. through the right-hander. Going to squeeze him again and just try and hold our line around the outside. And there goes Vettel, creeping up behind us as well. He's looking for that last point we have as well. On the exit, pushing, staying ahead of Magnussen, but he's going to go charging past us on the start of lap number 15, going towards turn 1. The DRS at his possession, and into the first corner. Going to look to the inside. There's contact once again. Didn't quite get enough of a run on Magnussen to stick our nose inside of the Haas machine. And Vettel still there, just behind us in the exit, trying to make something happen, but not going to get anything. Magnussen getting away from us now. So he's got P10, but it's currently in lap number 16 now. We are chasing him once again. We've caught right back up, and we'll try and get the DRS to give us a good road. And crucial, there goes Gasly into the pit lane. Will be his second and final stop of the race. That'll put him outside of the points and put us back in. So we've got 1 point to our name, but Vettel wants to try and snatch it off us, going towards turn number 1. Into the corner we go. It's very tight between us. We look to try and get to the Magnussen. Vettel there, almost touching the back of K-Mag's car. We're going to hold our line on the inside of turn 2 and get him back in front of the German, and Schumacher right there behind us as well. So he could try and push his way into the picture, and he does so. On to lap number 18 to look to the inside himself, going towards that first corner. He's going to breeze past us, similar to how Magnussen did a couple of laps ago. They'll try and look to the outside Schumacher, but again, just not enough of a run. And a bit of contact once more. We're going over the curb a bit too much there. Good exit from Schumacher. He gets away. Snoda now challenging Vettel in the AlphaTauri. So those two are fighting, and Snoda gets in front, and Schumacher in front of us now. So let's try and push our way back into the points somehow. To come towards the end of lap number 18, midway through lap 19 rather, into the DRS zone. We'll look to the outside towards the Sky. It's been a couple of laps now since we've gone for a move into the chicane, but we're going to try and make it happen once again here on the young German, and around the outside going into the corner. We've got P10 back, that's 1 point to our name, and Magnussen getting away at this point. It's about 1.3 seconds clear of us as it stands. So Max focused on defending this 1 point here. He's pushing a couple more laps now onto lap number 24. Just 4 more laps to go in this Grand Prix. Let's do what we can in order to keep in front and take this last point away. Vettel to the inside terminal. We're going to try and cover him off. Bit of contact there, I think. And Vettel on the inside is side by side, very tight. We're going to squeeze him at turn 1 and go through on the inside once again. Just holding off as best we can. Sonoda right there behind might try and get involved himself, and we'll go back onto the DRS straight. Here comes Vettel to the outside, breezing past us towards Ascari. Let's try and get him back as best we can. Here comes Sonoda as well. Might try and look to the inside. Let's try and outbrake King going into the corner, just to try and keep him in front. And a good run through the chicane is what's proud. We've gone over the curbs way too much there. We've managed to keep with Vettel to some extent. And so we're still chasing him with a battery there. So make our way towards Parabolica once again. With 3 laps to go, we hit the line. And up front, Verstappen is still leading Leclerc. We're looking at the encore to victory. And I see Fernando Alonso challenging with, I believe that is George Russell and maybe one of the McLarens, that'll be Lando Norris. And Vettel's got around Vettel out of the last corner, but he's going to get another go back down the main straight. DRS redeployed, and here comes Sonoda. Might try and join the party as well. So he'll look to the outside of us going towards the corner. So he's managed to get around us. Might try and get Vettel as well, going towards turn number 1. So we're very tight between us into the first corner. On the inside of Vettel, just not enough to stick our nose in. And around the outside we go to reclaim P10 here, which is crucial. Let's try and hold on for these last 2.5 laps still. So not much longer to go now. We're going to try and hold these guys off best we can, but they've really dropped back here. And coming on to the last lap of this Grand Prix, Pierre Gasly from that on those medium tyres, now joining the party for himself, and might try and snatch the last point off us. So here we go now. This is the bell lap here at Monza. 1 more to go as Verstappen heads to victory. Look, Gasly's going to get close to us. Going to the inside at turn 1, might try and go for it. He gets in front of us going into the corner, but we're going to stay with him nice and tight towards that first corner. We're going a bit deep there. Let's try and squeeze him out on the exit. We're going to do just that on the inside and stay in front of the Frenchman here, which is as best we can. Try and hold him off going towards these last couple of straights because the DRS will be crucial for him. Here comes Verstappen now for the last couple of corners to take victory here at Monza. Leclerc has been pressuring him all the way, but he's managed to cope with the pressure, and the reigning world champion comes to the line to win here in Italy in front of the Tifosi, and you can tell how pleased he is with it there, celebrating inside the cockpit. A brilliant victory from indeed, leading from start to finish. And we're not done there. Gasly's still challenging us further back to make our way towards the second lesson. He's going to have DRS on us one more time here, going towards the Ascari chicane. Side by side with us here, should he get alongside and looking to the outside if he can. Let's try and hold him off. There he goes. Let's give him the space going towards the chicane. That's be a case of outbreaking him. And there goes Sonoda trying to look at us as well, going into the corner. We have to get very tight with him and squeeze him once again. And that might just be all she wrote. Gasly will have no more real opportunities to have a go at us here. And making our way towards Parabolica for the final time for what's been a brilliant race for us. We'll be able to banish the ghost of Zandvoort away after losing out on the points on the final straight. This time we're going to come through by about half a second or so and finish in the points once again. Be a precious 1 point going towards the championship and taking 10th place at Monza. Brilliant stuff.
Pick up rubber and bring it home. There it is then, victory in the Italian Grand Prix, an historic race and an achievement they can be immensely proud of. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here.
So Verstappen then takes the victory here at Monza, with Leclerc finishing second, and surprisingly Fernando Alonso for Alpine finishing in third for Alpine. You see how pleased the Dutchman is with the victory here today. It's always special to win at Monza. It's the first time in his career he's taken victory here at the Italian Grand Prix. He'll celebrate just as much as he would any other Grand Prix. He'll close in on the championship leaders here. So it should be a very tight look at that.
Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Daniel Ricciardo certainly impressed me today. An incredible performance.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So the race over them, have a look at the top 10 one more time here. So Verstappen wins the race with Charles Leclerc in second, and surprisingly Alonso there in third place. Brilliant podium for the Alpine team. That will hugely help them in their push in the Constructors. Russell fourth, Lando Norris in fifth, Ocon sixth, Hamilton fights back to seventh, Ricciardo eighth, Magnussen ninth, and we take the final points paying place. Gasly home in 11th, Vettel 12th, Tsunoda 13th, and Zhou in 14th. Brilliant race for us, and please manage to get that 1 point on the board. That'll really help us towards these last couple of races. And of course, unfortunate for Perez and Sainz retiring from the Grand Prix as well. Stroll, who battled early on the race, finishing 18th, so not quite sure what happened to him there. Hamilton still leads the championship, but look how close the top four are now, with Leclerc and Verstappen finishing second and first. 11 points separating the top four. So this championship is in no way over, and I'd say even Russell and Perez have a chance for these last couple of races. 40 points out, but still in with a shot. And Ferrari lead the Constructors' Championship by 24 points over Mercedes. Red Bull back there in third, and we sit just 1 point behind AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo. So that battle for 6th place is still on, but Haas are also there breathing down our necks. So that'll be the end of this video in terms of the racing. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, then make sure to like, share and subscribe. Of course, pushing for 1,000 subscribers. We're getting really close now, so if you could do that, it'd make my day, and I'd really appreciate it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until the next time you see one, I will see you then. So have a good day, you guys, and I shall see you next video. Goodbye.